passports affected the amount of books you read?
I think it encouraged me to read more, knowing that there would be a reward at the end once I finished all the passports. It definitely encouraged me to read a lot of different books that way, because there was a certain amount of pages you had to read, certain titles, certain things you had to write about each time, a different author. So a person would want to learn more and to read more with the passports.
All right. Do you think that the reading buddies made reading more interesting as you're reading not alone but with other kids?
Yeah, when you read by yourself, it's so interesting. But when you had someone else, whether they were younger, your age, older, reading with you, you guys would talk throughout the book. It's like trying to understand what the other person read. The little kids would normally be interested when they would hear what you'd read.
Great. What do you think about the remodeling project for the library?
When they remodeled the library, it definitely encouraged people to go into the library more often, especially when, they put the beanbags, reading buddies would go together, they'd sit there together, they'd read. The curtains definitely made it more private. They got rid of the big, huge tables that covered everywhere that everybody would hate and make it feel like it was all boring, especially since it was mostly younger kids there, so it didn't really seem right. When they put beanbags and a funner carpet and more puppet stuff, it definitely made everything really fun.
Would you like to talk about your role in the remodeling project?
Yeah, so during the remodeling, I wasn't really, I remember I went a few times and helped move books up and down. I organized a few of the books, worked on putting little signs everywhere. But the main role I had while working in the library was probably the event that I did called the FGS's First Reading Day. It was like an event where people would go to the library. They would, not the library, to the school. It was all book stuff. Like there were like a bunch of booths, like make a bookmark or learn more about these famous novels like Harry Potter and stuff like that. And it was all Easter themed, since it was Easter. Like it's like find the word egg in a book, and it's like an Easter egg hunt. So it was definitely cool to do.
Great. How do you think the response for this program that you made was?
I definitely think it got more publicity for the library, and people were starting to go more often, and they were still wondering, would there be anything else like that? It definitely encouraged me to go to the library more often. It definitely made everybody who worked on the project closer, and it changed the library, and I think that's what helped push the remodeling program and everything further.
Great. What do you think about the quiz nights and movie nights, and do you think they were beyond just being a fundraising program?
I think it definitely was something that stayed in everybody's hearts, that, even once, the library stopped sponsoring it, the school still did it, and it was something fun. It went beyond, the normally selling stuff, because, people still bought, and it still was a great way to bring money in. But when they did the movie nights and quiz nights, people would actually really enjoy it, and it's something that everybody could remember, seeing movies with their friends, because at the time there was no movie theater here, so it was really cool.